we cut across to these latest pictures coming in from Belagavi, where Panchamasali protesters have blocked the national highway. They're trying to march towards Vidhan Soudha to gherao the Vidhan Soudha. There you see how there is heavy deployment of the police and other forces who are using lathis to bring the situation under control. But it is far from what it is looking like, as some of those protesters could also be detained, is what the picture suggests. Of course, we'll need more further confirmation on the same. Dramatic pictures coming in from Belagavi in Karnataka, where these protesters have blocked the national highway. Pictures also leading us to believe that tear gas has probably been used on these protesters who are being lathi charged. Let's get a confirmation from my colleague Sri Lakshmi, joining us from the Kannada newsroom to give us further details on these protests that are underway. And it is a fierce clash between protesters and the cops, who have detained some of those protesters. They are being lathi charged, and the police is trying to remove them from the national highway that they have blocked. There is a possibility that tear gas also may have been used in order to bring the situation under control. And a lot of these protesters who have supposedly been detained. Of course, Sri Lakshmi would be able to confirm the exact details of why these protesters are trying to march to gherao the Vidhan Soudha. I believe Niranjan is with us on the phone line to tell us more. Over to you, Niranjan.
Well, this is an ongoing, movement that has been on for many, many years now. Just to give you a background, this is the Panchamasali community in Karnataka, and the Panchamasali community in Karnataka has been asking different governments over the last few years to try and give put them under the 2A category. Now, why are they asking for this? They're asking for this because they want more reservation, because they feel that if they're under the 2A category, they will be eligible for at least 15% reservation, and that is why they had planned a tractor rally. The tractor rally has been blocked and they've been lathi charged. Now this is significant because this has happened in Belagavi, where the special assembly session is currently underway, and they've been warning the government that they will be protesting on the streets. And now that they were holding saffron flags and they were protesting on the streets, and they were first blocked. They were blocked and prohibitory orders were clamped. The entry of tractors was restricted in this particular town. And the pontiff of the Panchamasali Guru Pita has been, pressurizing, the community leaders have been pressurizing different governments, both BJP and Congress, to bring the Panchamasali community under the 2A category or the other backward caste or OBCs. They want to be under OBC, and they've been fighting for this for over 2 decades, for almost 12 years now. And they have lashed out at the government today, saying that, this restriction has been uncalled for, especially when they were carrying out the protest in a very, very democratic way. And despite the democratic demand, the fact that there's been such a violent clampdown, there is a lot of anger over it. The community is presently under 3B category, gets about 5% reservation, but they want to be under 2A category. And if they are put under 2A, that would mean that they would get up to 15%. They currently get about 5% reservation. But, if they are put under 2A, that reservation quota number would be up to 15%. So this is a quota fight that has gone out of control. The state government has been unable to handle it. And, this is not an unusual demand, given that they've been asking for this for the last 12 years. And they've been turned down again and again and again. And it's come down to this now. They've been lathi charged in Belagavi, prohibitory orders in place. This could have well been avoided.
Niranjan, continue talking to us, given the fact that it has been a persisting issue and the very fact that Swamiji had threatened to lay siege if the promises were not fulfilled. Despite that, the police department did not wake up on time. They did not pay heed to Swamiji's statement, and they went, and now it has boiled down to this, where it has gotten out of control, and the police on the ground is having to face the consequences.
Yes. See, the thing is, the Panchamasali, just to give you a little bit of a background on this particular stir or the movement, the Panchamasali community is essentially, they're a subsect of the Veerashaiva Lingayat group, and they've been campaigning for years to move from 3B to 2A. So it's a demand that's been ongoing for different years now. The Chief Minister, I believe, is speaking, but he's speaking on SM Krishna, who has passed away. So I'm going to stay on the details. And chaos, basically, there was some chaos yesterday as well, Suesha, during the Assembly winter session, over the demand for inclusion under 2A category. And the stand of the state government is to sort of stall this. They're trying to stall it and delay it because he has said that his government plans to present details of the Supreme Court's order and also the affidavit submitted by the previous BJP-led government on the matter in the Assembly on Wednesday. So they're making it a political fight, one between them and the BJP. The BJP has slammed it, saying that, you have a situation where a community is asking for reservation, but you're saying that you will file our affidavit in the Assembly just to sort of score a brownie point. That's not happening. And the Chief Minister is quoted as saying yesterday in the Assembly that the Panchamasali community has long demanded inclusion under 2A category. And after taking office, he claims he met their leaders, including Jayamrutyunjaya Swamiji, twice, assuring them of his support. He says, however, a report from
ಸರ್ಕಾರ 3 ದಿನ ಶೋಕಾಚರಣೆ ಘೋಷಣೆ ಮಾಡಿದೆ.
3 ದಿನ ಶೋಕ ದಿನಾಚರಣೆ ಆಚರಣೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಫ್ಲಾಗು ಅರ್ಧಕ್ಕೆ ಇಳಿಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾಳೆ ಘೋಷಣೆ
The Chief Minister is saying that the flag. The Chief Minister is saying that given that a former Chief Minister has passed away, the flag will be at half mast. And he's essentially speaking about SM Krishna. We should be moving out of this now and getting you details of the protest itself. And essentially there was a plan to bring it in the Assembly tomorrow, but that's not happening. Because there is a state of mourning for about 3 days.
ಪಂಚಮಸಾಲಿ ಸಮುದಾಯದವರು ಇವತ್ತು
ಅವರು ಬರಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ.
Niranjan, continue talking to us because that is what the Chief Minister is saying. But how do they plan to tackle the issue?
Well, I just heard the Chief Minister saying in the last part of his answer that the Panchamasali community failed to meet him today. So I don't know. I think this is going to get bigger. It's going to get perhaps, to a flashpoint, and the visuals are dramatic because you're looking at some pictures where the protesters were chased by the police and beaten. I think this is going to get, and many of them have been detained as well, including the leaders of the community. So it appears that this is a situation that is going to go out of hand, especially in Karnataka, given that it's a fight that's been ongoing for almost 12 years now.
Oh yes, absolutely. 12 years that the fight has been ongoing. Meanwhile, the Panchamasali seer, who is upset over restrictions on protests in Belagavi. Niranjan, now we are picking up further details of how Swamiji has expressed his anger over prohibitory orders imposed in Belagavi, where the winter session of the Karnataka legislature started on Monday for the very same that the protesters are wanting to gherao the Vidhan Soudha. In fact, the seer had planned a tractor rally today, but the district administration clamped prohibitory orders restricting the entry of tractors in town. Niranjan.
Well, they had asked for a safe, they had asked for, a tractor rally. It was a peaceful tractor rally. They wanted to demonstrate, their mark of protest. Because even before the assembly session started, there has been, a sort of a clamor to bring up this issue, and they've made it public. In fact, the Swamiji, I don't know whether we have the pictures of him, but his name is Jayamrutyunjaya Swamiji, and he's been asking for this for a very long time. And the fact that the state government has banned the protest, this is not going to go down well for the Karnataka government. Let me tell you, in some of the pictures they're seeing are horrific. People being lathi-charged, and some of them are injured. This is not going to go down well. I don't know whether the government, miscalculated the situation. Because, you have a state of mourning in Karnataka. And because on the account of a former chief minister who passed away. And if they were hoping that, if because of that, the protest would sort of die down, that hasn't happened. So if they thought that maybe the news of the passing of a former chief minister would have overshadowed what is happening in Belagavi, they got that wrong. Because the idea to ban such a protest, which they knew was going to happen, in a movement that's been ongoing for over 10 years, look at that. We're seeing pictures of some of them brutally thrashed, heads broken. Look at that. I mean, these are very, very disturbing pictures. Let me tell you, this particular government, Suesha, in Karnataka, they have been facing so much of anger from different quarters. I'm not saying from one quarter, because on one hand, they say they want a caste quota. They're saying that they want a caste census. They've been fighting for a caste census. They claim they have a report on caste census, and that they want to bring in, increased reservation. And when people are asking for increased reservation, they beat them up and lathi-charge them like this. This is extremely pathetic handling of the police. Because, let me tell you, the people who've been thrashed and beaten are people of the Panchamasali community. They're a very dominant community in Karnataka, and you can't do that. You can't beat them, thrash them, break open their heads when they're asking for something that they've been, rightfully demanding for over a decade now.
Right, but Niranjan, I believe that the siddaramaiah government is also trying to paint a picture to how the BJP, when they were in power, were not supportive of the Panchamasali community, for the very reason that Vijendra has said that when his father B.S. Yediyurappa was the chief minister, reservation was granted under 3B. Hence, they had supported the Panchamasali community, and he said that there is an attempt to create an impression that the BJP did not support the struggle, as Yediyurappa was opposed to it. But he has said that that is far from what the truth is. Give us the inside story.
Well, this is, the classic, case of both pointing at each other and saying that the other one didn't do much. It is not an easy decision. Let me tell you, the moment they increase first of all, give the quota demand, given to the quota demand, that would mean they will come under pressure from different groups as well. And I think they're trying to, in a classic way, try and avoid the situation by coming under pressure and, by trying to sort of, delay it as much as possible, because, the classic political tactic now is to say that, you're asking us, but, and even the BJP is, piling on the pressure. But the fact is, they try to say that the BJP also didn't give you, saying that what the BJP said in the Supreme Court, I will expose the BJP and also keep this issue hanging. And that effort to keep the issue hanging is not working anymore. I don't think there are takers for that. And the fact that it's happened outside the assembly session, I mean, they've blocked the tractor rally itself was blocked. There was a ban on the protest, and the most let me tell you what is damaging the most for the government in this particular case. This is from a very dominant community in Karnataka. They're almost about, if I'm not wrong, by rough estimates, 10 to 15% of the total population in Karnataka. And for them to, mete out this treatment, and this was organized also, and the voice was raised by BJP leaders, including Yatnal, who's a very, very controversial, an outspoken leader in the BJP called Basava Patil Yatnal. He sought clarity on the state government's position regarding the issue, and he has a huge following in the community as well. And the chief minister to say that his government is going to they're saying that they're bound by the affidavit submitted by the previous government, saying that they want a status quo, and saying that they're going to expose the BJP, etc. It looks like it's going to just increase. And let me tell you that they want to be in the 2A category and get 15% of the OBC reservation matrix. They're currently in the 3B category, which means only 5% get reservations. And let me tell you, this is significant, given that given unemployment and there is a huge demand for government jobs. So this 15% quota makes a lot of difference. And the Belagavi district administration that is prohibited the protest, they have drawn sharp criticism. They knew this could have been avoided, did not avoid it. They decided to go for the jugular, take a chance, given that maybe they miscalculated. But for it to have happened on a day like this, this is not the kind of headline that the government would have wanted in Karnataka.
Absolutely, Niranjan, and which is why, if for the benefit of our viewers, we can once again put out the timeline of this entire issue. So primarily, Swamiji, who has been pushing for the 2A category of the other backward caste since December 2012, you said how it has been a 12-year-long fight for the Panchamasali community, being they're currently in the 3B category, which gives them 5% reservation in government education institutions and jobs. If the demand is met, the community would get 15% reservation. 12 years on, governments have changed, but this demand of theirs that has not been met.
Absolutely, and this is not a small. This is not okay. Just to once again, for all of viewers joining us. Let me tell you, this is not new. This has been ongoing for over a decade now, and you had different leaders fight for it. And this particular sect called the Panchamasali sect, it's led by Jayamrutyunjaya Swamiji, and he belongs to a Pita which is a Kudalasangama Panchamasali Pita, has been protesting for years for his particular community to get their right. It appears that they've been given first of all a raw deal by both the BJP and the Congress, because the BJP filed an affidavit in court, and the Congress is saying, listen, we are bound by that affidavit. We cannot deviate from it, and it is getting to a point where it is a game of one-upmanship. And the whole plan today was to bring about 5,000 tractors to the Suvarna Soudha. Suvarna Soudha is the winter assembly, where the assembly session is being held in Belagavi. Where the special assembly session is on. Plan was to bring about 5,000 tractors as part of the protest. And if, imagine those, that's how many vehicles would have been brought to the Suvarna Soudha vicinity. It would have been hard to conduct the session, is what the district administration said. Even the Home Minister, of course, spoke about this, saying that it was not a good idea to protest in the way that they have done. And it's going to be very difficult now. And let me also tell you, I think we have some of our correspondents from Republic Kannada. We have a few correspondents in Belagavi. We have about 4 correspondents who've travelled from Bengaluru. Let me see if I can get you one of them live from the spot, because a lot of jammers have also been placed there, Suresha. And I'm looking at very, very dramatic shots, because, people being lathicharged and, people being injured. Some of the pictures that I've been getting on Republic Kannada as well, you can see the shots. People are simply standing. And while they are standing, they are being beaten up. And this is not going to go down well for the state government. And, some of them I can see that they are being beaten even while just standing still, right? And very, very dramatic pictures. This is this is unprecedented face-off that is happening. And I think the state government may be looking at further trouble, because after this, I don't know whether these protesters and the group, the Panchamasali group, will turn back, slow down, or give in to what the state government is saying. And let me also tell you that in this particular case, there is also a little bit of because you have leaders from this particular community. For example, there is a leader in the BJP called Yatnal. I just mentioned him. He's fighting for the reservation. And then you have ministers in the Karnataka government, of the Congress government, who belong to this community. One of them is the Women and Child Development Minister called Lakshmi Hebalkar. She's disappointed by her own government, saying that I'm disappointed about my own government, imposing this protest. And She had also said that the protest should not have been stopped in a democratic setup, and that she said that she will meet the seers and other top leaders of the community and take a decision. So, even within the government itself in Karnataka, the Congress government, there is a divide. There is a huge split, and we are looking at these pictures. Nearly 5,000 tractors. 5,000 tractors. That's a large number. That's a large number. 5,000 tractors were to be brought on the streets of Belagavi. 5,000 tractors protest by the Panchamasali community has been blocked. And if we can get some dramatic pictures, people who are standing, still being thrashed by the cops, brutally lathicharged. And we had some pictures of them, of them, some of them being very, very severely injured as well. Very, very unprecedented protests. The pictures are horrible. It's a complete clampdown. I mean, these are the same kind of people who can you imagine when you had the Sambal incident, right? Some of the Congress leaders, the Indie leaders, wanted to go to Sambal, and they were simply blocked and sent back. They were not thrashed like this. And if you imagine, I mean, the kind of comments they made, remarks saying that democracy is in danger. We were not allowed to go to Sambal. Opposition leader, this, that. I mean, all kinds of comments were made, and you contrast what they said versus what they are doing, right? In Karnataka, it's pretty brutal. This is happening under a Congress government which often complains that there is no freedom of speech. So, is there no freedom of speech for the Panchamasali community and those who are asking for a reservation? They were simply protesting. It was a tractor protest. For them to face such a brutal crackdown is unprecedented, and I've seen pictures of people with their heads split, and with many of them whose bones are broken, unable to walk, unable to move their hands and legs, limbs, because they've been lathi-charged so brutally by the police. And this is only because Suresha, at the end of it, there is a special assembly session there in Karnataka, in this particular district called Belagavi, where the special assembly session of the winter session is on, and that is why they're trying to sort of stop all these tractors from going there and protesting. And this is not a new protest. I mean, like I said, this has been ongoing for 15 years, where they have been continuously for better quota to be represented, because they say that we are almost 10 to 15% of the population, and if we are 10 to 15% of this was our due, and here's the requisite quota, because we deserve that quota. So quota is we are that many people who require that kind of reservation. So these are some of the points that are being made. This is
At this point, Niranjan, if you can hear me, two things, if you could clarify for our viewers. Firstly, Chief Minister Siddaramaiah is saying that the Panchamasali community did not meet him. Did the government not make a genuine outreach? Or is it the Panchamasali community that is not wanting to hold talks with the Siddaramaiah government? That is one point. The second also is that we are learning that some of the BJP leaders have also been detained by the cops. That include Basava Patil Yatnal, Erana Kadari and others. Is that true? All right. Not too sure if Niranjan is still connected with us, but details we are picking up of how some BJP MLAs have also been detained as a part of this protest. MLAs Arvind Bellar, Basanan Goda Patil Yatnal, Erana Kadari and others who have been arrested. We'll try and get the Karnataka BJP on the phone line to get the exact details of whether the BJP leaders have been arrested as a part of this protest. But all our politics that is playing out, given how the Siddaramaiah government has gone on to say that they wanted to meet the Panchamasali community, but CM saying that the community has not met with the government. So what are the details as far as that is concerned? Secondly, also the fact that BJP MLAs have been detained as a part of this protest. But before that, I'm being told that Nagaraj Yadav from the Congress party is with us on the phone line. He is from the Karnataka Congress. Mr. Yadav, please tell us where your party stands as far as this entire issue of the Panchamasali community seeking that quota is concerned, and how do you plan to tackle this matter? How is it that it got escalated to this level?
Okay, it is not the question of escalating to this level. When Mr. Bommai government was there, they did a religious politics in place, and they said that they'll set aside the Muslim reservation 4%, divided 2% to Lingayat and 2% to the Vakaliga community as such. Simultaneously, when the Muslim community approached the court of law in the Supreme Court, that particular time, Bommai filed an application and an affidavit in the court saying that they will not be removing Muslim reservation as what has been existing. They have made a dual stand in the court of law. And now it's become politics out of it because the Panchamasali have got right to ask for reservation. We don't say no. They are in 3B. They want to come to 2A. What happens when they come to 2A? How will you exceed Indira Sahani's case matter of 50% reservation as such? It's purely technical and legal in nature. Let the court take a call on that, and we are not against Panchamasali getting reservation. But how will they get it? Unless until there is amendments done in the for the constitution and the reservation matters in the government of India in the parliament. Unless until the BJP takes a call on that, and why they should blame us? If anybody is arrested now, it's only a preventive arrest as such. And that is the courts of law, and it is going to fall in place. Nothing to make that intentionally arrested about. It's a preventive measure what you have taken.
But sir, while you could bring out what has happened in the past, I'm talking to you about the level to which the protest has been escalated today. Look at the way in which these protesters are being beaten up and being lathi charged by the police. I mean, imagine the backlash against the siddaramaiah government at this point. And when there was a clear indication that the protests are going to happen despite the prohibitory orders, why weren't things put in place in a manner that it would not reach this?
Not escalate as such, because when the assembly is going on, they wanted to put a pressure on the government of Karnataka, and the government of Karnataka sympathetically towards the reservation policy of Panchamasali, unless the legal matters are being sorted out, which has been communicated to them very well. And if they want to put the blame on the government, it is not correct. It is their own leaders belonging to Panchamasali community or Lingayat community who have taken a decision to scrap Muslim population.
Mr. Yadav, I want to take your point to Dheeraj Muniraju, who's a BJP MLA. He's with us on the phone line. Please hold the line so you can also respond to his point. Mr. Muniraju, the Congress is putting it on the BJP and saying that it was Basava Bommai whose politics has led to this that is happening today. Mr. Muniraju, can you hear me? All right, not sure if we have Mr. Muniraju with us. We'll try and reconnect that phone line. But Mr. Nagaraj Yadav, if you continue to hear what I'm saying, how do you plan to tackle the situation from here on is my question.
We are very clear with our administrative thinking that this matter is purely legal in nature, unless until there is a constitutional amendment for increasing the reservation for 50% and above. We cannot do anything on this matter. The matter is pending in the court of law, and we will go abide by the court of law's decision. Law of this land is the highest concern for us. And definitely we demand the government of India to get some constitutional amendments to increase the reservation policy as such. Imagine if you want to give some reservation to them, how will you cross 50% and give it? You can do unconstitutional decisions. Then the Supreme Court will go against the past structures against the state government for crossing 50% reservation as such. This is known fact, and BJP knowingly they want to do politics of it, which is not correct.
So when Mr. Siddaramaiah says that talks were to be held with the community today, but the Panchamasali community did not reach out, what does that mean? Are you wanting to hold talks with their leaders to solve this matter?
legislator from Karnataka government. I am being the chairman of the privileges committee. I was there when the Lingayats had a meeting recently about 2 months back in Karnataka with the chief minister. Chief minister made it very, very clear. The matters are pending in the court of law in the Supreme Court. The affidavit filed by Bommai itself is contrary to what they have said, and we will sort it out unless until the reservation policy has been amended by the government of India to the constitution as such. Once that is done, we will definitely accept. We are not against Panchamasali asking for reservation, but where to give and how to give, where to accommodate them in 2A category. In 2A category, there is Savita Samaj people are there, Purva Samaj people are there, Madiwala Samaj people are there. These are the people to be taken into confidence as such, because we cannot remove.
Right. Mr. Yadav, I want you to stay on with me. We are trying to get another voice from the BJP. If I'm not mistaken, Mr. Ashok Gowda is with us on the phone line. Mr. Gowda, if you can hear me, the Congress is completely pinning the blame on the BJP, saying that your misdeeds have caused the protest to go to where it is.
Nagaraj Yadav and siddaramaiah misleads the House and Nagaraj Yadav is misleading the media. See, particularly, what is the Panchamasali issue? Panchamasali issue basically, they are trying to say that reservation which is provided under the category 3B is not enough for the kind of the population they have and the kind of the problem they have. And now, our government, which for the Muslim, the reservation which was provided under 2B was unconstitutional according to Article 29 of the Constitution, where very clearly stated that any kind of a religious is not going to be in this country today or tomorrow. And he clearly said reservation is only for the socialist people. So the socialist people who were added to the backward community during their period, recognized as 14 communities, Pingara, Ladakh, and other communities were already given reservation. By providing reservation by Veerappa government and later the consecutive government have Constitution according to Article 29, which is upheld by the Supreme.
All right, that was Mr. Gowda speaking on part of the BJP as we see how both are trading guns at each other. We have to step into a short commercial break. At this point, we'll continue to get you the latest as these dramatic pictures that continue to come in from Belagavi